My company is Finbase, and we have a mission. I have a mission to help as many people as I can with better personal finance. And we do so by providing them with all the instruments to make their own financial planning, because you are yourself the best planner. How do you say that? There's nobody who cares for your interests but as best as you yourself, right? You can consult with an advisor or a bank or an insurance company, but they always have, not just you on their mind. So I'm going to talk to you about your finances. And most people then probably have this picture in mind. Are we going? Yeah, here we are. Just a question to the audience. Who likes to attend to his finances? You know, who's it's hobby? Who likes to do his tax returns and all that? Now, there's always one. There's always at least one. Come on. No.
Tax returns are no problem.
Okay, it's no problem. Do you like it?
Yes, because when you return, you see what you get wrong.
Oh, sure. Yeah. You can win something from it. Yeah, that's true. But you know what? It's the same for everybody out there, right? We'd rather live our lives. If we plan ahead, we'd rather think about, what holiday are we going to take, right? That's something you like to think about. So that's a problem. But to live that life, we need money, right? We need money now, and we need money in the future. So most people have the same feeling as you do, and most people postpone, and they don't think about later. But you all work in HR, and your employees have probably questions. They want to know when or whether or not they can retire early, right? And you have a lot of, decisions to make during their life and career that have financial impact. Is it better to work less if we plan our family? In Holland, we have pretty traditional that the woman works less and the husband stays working the most. Well, yeah, it is Holland. Well, I can prove that most of the times it's better to work less 1 day a week, both my husband and wife, and then you have enough time to attend to the children. Anyway, another decision. In the last phase, the mother's with us now, and I'd like to give her more time and work less, right? But that has probably a financial impact. And these are all questions. In Holland, we have our retirement age is being prolonged, so people are wondering, do I really have to work longer, or can I retire early, or can work less in the phase that comes ahead? Is it recognizable that employees come with questions like this to you, the HR department?
Yes.
Yeah? And what do you do if they have questions like this? Anyone?
I suggest you seek help from a financial advisor.
You seek help from a financial advisor. And how much does that cost? Any idea? You have to pay it for themselves. Okay. Anyway, it's about money, not now, but also later. And we have decisions in life and career now that have significant impact later on. Okay? And people are wondering, should I do this or should I do that? And there is a transformation in society going on. It has been going on from the 1990s, and nobody really realizes that in the old days, the employer and the government would take care of you. And we know now, at least I hope you do, that this is no longer the case. People should take care of their financial future increasingly themselves, right? And this has, there are, how do you say that? So society is changing, how do you say that? De arbeidsmarkt verandert, career choices change, and pensions are changing. right? And people become more responsible themselves, right? And we see that a lot in HR policies also. People they have to take care of themselves. Okay. So we say that, for instance, in duurzaam inzetbaarheid, I don't know how that translates into English, but the vitality in the workforce also has a financial component. So we say financial career planning is a missing link. And you can tap into this by working together with us. We built mijngeldzaken.nl. It's our instrument. It's a DIY platform where people can make their own financial planning. And it's the world's only online platform in this case, where you can do the lot. So we we combine huishoudboekje, how is that, a cash book, online cash book. So where am I now? You know, where's it all heading? Where I spend my money? And we also look ahead. So where does it all lead to if you do nothing? And from this idea, from this oversight, you can also consult with an online financial planner through a Skype, that we build in. Anyway, you set up your first financial planning within 10 minutes because we connect to the tax authority, all major banks in the Netherlands, and also mijn pensioenoverzicht, all pension statements that are online. So you get a clear picture in colors, red, orange, green. You know, do I have enough money? Yes or no. Green is yes, red is no, orange is maybe. And you can review that in more detail. There's also a sandbox through which people can play. What if I retire early? What if I work less? What if I work more? So all these questions that you saw in the personas can be reviewed in detail by people themselves. So you can even refer to an online financial planner, and we have a nationwide network connected. So you think, yeah, a lot of people probably start doing this, but as we just established, nobody is really interested in their own finances, so people don't do this. No. But as with a lot of things that are good for you, like your health, eat less, work out more, you need a nudge. You need a nudge to start thinking about your financial future. And we learned that a nudge from the employer helps a lot. We've established this in projects working with major companies, but also small companies, it doesn't matter. And we can help people reviewing their decisions in the here and now regarding their future. And why should an employer do this? Well, the employer benefits. An employer benefits from his employees being more financially resilient, making more informed decisions. What if I work less and make it to the end without calling in sick too often? Because as we work together, for instance, with APG, which is the biggest pension fund in the Netherlands, and they've established that, calling in sick has grown exponentially in the last couple of years because of this prolonging of the of the retirement age. And that's really a problem because the employers they face a lot of costs in the near future. So you have to start talking to these older employees before that happens, right? And try and establish. For instance, in the Netherlands we have generatiepact, or generation policy. Anyone here who's familiar with that? Yeah, a couple of them. People start working less, for instance, as an 80, 90, 100, which means you start working less, 80%, 20% less, 1 day a week, but you get like 90% paid. So you, put in some money, but you get something in return, and the pension stays like 100%, stays as much. So you see those generation policy within almost every new collective labor agreement, and the unions are asking for it, are trying to negotiate it. Well, we did, for instance, a project with a big community in the Netherlands, where they said, yeah, we have this generation policy, but maybe you understand that, hoe zeg je dat, meedoen? Participating in a generation policy is pretty easy if you have double income and you earn a lot of money. Then time is more valuable than money, so it's easy. But a lot of people in lower wages, who are, for instance, the sole earner, and have their children still in school, they need every penny every month. But I can assure you that calling in sick is more a problem in those areas, within those population. And we could show that, for instance, within that project, 60% of those people actually could participate in a generation policy, and did, after we had, shown them how they could do that. So there are a lot of reasons why an employer should do this. Let's translate this into English. A lot of people don't know what they have and what they can do with their pension. Unfortunately, despite all the communication policies that are put in place, most people still don't know what they have and what they can do with their pensions. And also, I just told you that a lot of people are calling in sick, and some sectors that's worse than others, but especially in the more tougher occupations. I've just told you we did a project with Tata Steel, which is, of course, a steel company, and people work there in, how do you say that? I don't know that word in English. Ploegen. Shifts. They have shifts, right? So they work also a lot of in the night. Well, anyway, on the other hand, you also see legislation that is obliging employers to start informing their employees more about what they have and what they can do with it. For instance, there is the legislation that's called pension communication legislation, which states that you have to answer these questions. What do I get? Is it enough? And what can I do if it's not enough? Now, most pension funds concentrate on the first question, what do you get? But is it enough? What does it, what do you need to answer that question? Is it enough?
Personal situation,
yeah, what about the personal situation? What do you need to know? How much do you need? Other income, what are your expenses? So it becomes very personal here. And then, what should I do? Who's going to answer that? Well, in best case, you have to refer to a consultant. But what does that cost, right? Does everyone need to? I mean, advisors like me, they would like to think that everyone will refer to them. But obviously, if that costs a lot of money, most people, I will tell you, don't. They don't refer to a consultant. I don't know if that, but less than 30% asked an advisor. So 70% doesn't ask anyone at all. Who could blame them? It costs money, right? So you rather keep that in your pocket. I understand that. I have a little movie. I don't know. I don't think that. Maybe I have to switch this off. No. Okay. Sorry, I should have checked. This is just a little movie we make for our project with the provinces. We are informing all employees of all provinces, and we did the same with the waterschappen. I don't know how that translates. Something typically Dutch, similar to the provinces. People work there to provide services in the public domain, and well, the thing is, if you do something like this, you really have to explain to your employers, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? Is it safe? you know, and what could you expect from it, and what could you expect, and how would you benefit? And this is explained in like 2 minutes. And we have created a special information, how do you say that, page online. And here you see that it is the employer, IPO, with this, all the provinces together, and employees, the unions together, who've decided to start informing in this way. And we can show results. Most colleagues advise other colleagues to participate. Over 80% have gained new insights and more insights. But what is more important, that from these projects we can tell that over 50% start doing something. And we have defined starting doing something like start talking with HR about working less, or your goals, or ask for a proposal from the pension fund for early retirement. So if you give people the insight and they start understanding what they can do, they really start acting up. And important was that it was 40% in a higher income and 60% in a higher income and 50% in a lower income. So together it's like 52%. And 40% didn't participate, but because there was no, no reason to. Everything was arranged well, there's no need to do something, right? So if you start doing something like this, not everyone will participate, but those who will participate, most of them will start taking up action. Which you want to do. Well, we win prizes, not just to say we were great. The thing is, this is not an idea. We have validated results. We can prove what we do works, and we are live since 2013. And what I just told you is a lot of talk is going on about this, and everybody's wondering why should we do this? Because as I mentioned, employers are not just obliged by law, but also by collective labor agreement, because unions have negotiated that employers should start informing their employees more. And then they start thinking about how should I do this, and that's why I'm here to tell you that there's an easy way with validated results. Right? Well, just to give you an idea of an example of our, employers to do our customers, and I've mentioned the biggest one. You don't have to be big. I was just called by a little afval- en verwerkingsbedrijf, hoe heet dat? But a little company, and they asked us, can we do this for like 10 people next week? Sure, no problem. You call us now, and we help you next week. We did 3,000 employees of the IRS. Couple of years ago, it was mentioned a lot in the Tweede Kamer, in Parliament, where questions asked, but everybody was satisfied with what we did, because most of those left the IRS. That's what they wanted. They wanted them to leave. So just to give you an idea of what we are doing and why this is important, I don't know, some of you may have heard of these, and I've always learned that you shouldn't solve problems for a company before they exist. But maybe you will remember us once the negotiations about the CAO, a collective labor agreement within your company start, and you see the union asking for financial planning, then you might think of us. Thank you.